Mac and Perry in the place. Da-na-na-na. Mac and Perry go live to create. Da-na-na-na. Mac and Perry invite you to stay.
Hello and welcome once again to Tell Us Story Hives on location in Red Deer. My name is Daniel J. Perryman and I'm a local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this is my lovely co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is...
I'm Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design. And I'm the owner of ABC Creation and graphic designer and paint party host.
Woo! I love it. Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and energy to meet with us and also inviting us into your space here. We really appreciate it. We're going to dive into a little icebreaker segment with you and just get to know you maybe a little bit outside of your artistic practice. And then dive into your journey and some of your showcasing some of your pieces as well later. We usually start with a bit of trivia. How are you with trivia typically?
Well, we'll see. We'll find out.
For sure. Awesome. So our first piece of trivia for you is Doris Forbes and her family adopted an injured beaver in Red Deer in 1939 and nursed him back to health. They became inseparable, but what was the beaver's name? Was it A, Marvel the beaver, B, Mickey the beaver, C, Michael the beaver Angelo, or D, Marvin the beaver?
I'm pretty sure it's Mickey the Beaver B. There's actually a song about it too.
Oh, really?
I won't sing it.
Okay, that's fair. We will have to check that out at some point.
He is a mascot. Apparently, Mickey is pretty well known. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you got it right. There we go. I'll pass it over to you. So Michael and I have prepared trivia for each other. So feel free to read that one for Michael. And we'll see how well Michael knows me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, question is, I've designed many logos through my business. Daniel hasn't hired me yet, but he's had now how many logos designed by professionals like me? Bonus point if you guess what it's for. A, 1 logo, B, 2, C, 4, D, 6.
Well, I know he loves logos. Let me think. What comes to mind is Shakespeare sonnets. So I'm going to say it was 1 Shakespeare sonnets. What was it? 2, 7?
The answer was 2. Yeah.
So you had the first one right, Shakespeare sonnet. There was a second one, Pedant J.
Pedant J.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's still 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Awesome. I believe Michael has a piece of trivia.
Some Red Deer trivia.
Yeah. For you.
All right, Annie. Yeah. Red Deer trivia. Ooh. The Green Onion is the local water tower. Is officially named the Horton Water Tower Spheroid and was manufactured in 1957. At the time, what was its claim to fame? It was the fastest built water tower, taking only 1 week to construct. B, it was the tallest water tower in North America. C, it had the largest volume of any water tower in North America. Or D, it was the first and only water tower to experiment using onions in its filtration system.
Ooh, that is a tricky one.
What do you think?
Height
It's
or
either
volume?
A or D. I'm going to go with A.
A, the fastest built water tower? Well, not quite. It was actually B, the tallest water tower in North America at the time.
Tallest?
In
It must be
1957.
built on a hill.
Yeah.
Nice.
They didn't have much else going on in 1957, so good job. Close
There you
enough.
go. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. And then I believe Michael has prepared a piece of trivia for me. So
For sure.
we'll see how well I know Michael.
Okay, so part of my artistic practice involves graphic design, including logo design. The logo for Michael podcast includes what image? A, the back of Michael standing in front of off-grid tiny house.
Okay.
B, half of Michael's face and the earth behind it. C, Michael standing in the coulees, and D, Michael's beard in a microphone.
Ooh.
A, B, C, D.
I would love to see that last one, but I'm pretty sure it is Michael's face with the world behind it. I believe that was B. Or
That
C?
is right.
Nice.
B, half of your Michael's face in the Earth, planet Earth. So
Yeah.
I'd
That's
love to see that
beautiful.
logo.
Yeah, we'll have to show you. Nice. Awesome. Well, that is all of our trivia for you. So thank you so much for indulging us there.
You're welcome.
Our next thing on the agenda here is just some this or that. So we'll just pull something out of the hat, give it a read, and we'll just see what our preferences are. So I'll let you do the honors, picking
Okay.
at random.
Okay.
Yeah, what do we got?
We have rich or famous.
Would you rather be rich or famous? I think that I would rather just be rich. I think there's a lot of things that come with being famous that I don't know if I'm built to withstand and put up with. So yeah, I would take the money and run is what I would do. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, I probably have to agree with you, Daniel. I probably also just want to be rich. If I had to choose between those two things, fame, no thanks. How about you, Annie?
You know, I think I'll go with the same thing. Rich, so then I have options to do the right things, maybe be famous with it, but I would definitely help, donate, support, but also support my family and friends.
Yeah. Love that. Awesome. Great. We'll see what I get here. Plan ahead or be spontaneous. What would be your preference between those two things?
Well, I'm a little more spontaneous on the spot, but I do sometimes plan ahead, best case scenario, and then I just wing it.
Nice. Best of both worlds, I guess. You plan, but then you wing it. I feel like that's a special type of person that can do that.
Yeah. What about you?
I think my preference is usually to plan ahead. That doesn't always happen, but that's usually my preference, is to plan ahead. Have you always been that way?
No, wing it is always a backup plan, but yeah, when you have not enough notice, or like in school, I was really good at just wing it, and I spent all night up studying. Not
Right. And how about you, Michael? What would be your preference?
Yeah, I'd probably say plan ahead. Like, sure, sometimes I like to be spontaneous, but generally, yeah, planning things, know what's going on, stick to the plan. Try to do, yeah.
I know. Awesome. We'll pick another few here and see what we get.
Oh, that one jumped in my hand. Cats or dogs?
Hey, cats or dogs? I have never actually owned a pet, which is a very sad part of my life too. But so I'm very torn because I don't have any, anything to base this off of. But I do love dogs, and if I had the time and money, I would definitely probably have a dog. Yeah. So, how about you, Michael?
Yeah, well, currently I have 4 cats, and that's not too many. But I grew up with dogs, and so I like dogs. I wouldn't mind having a dog. But I think I'm going to choose cats this time. I feel like they're kind of underrated sometimes, and they have their own personalities, and yeah, they're lovely. People don't always love them, so going with cats. And how about you, Annie?
Well, am I going to be the tiebreaker? I actually have 2 cats, 2 dogs in the house right now, so there's plenty to share. But I'm going to go with dog. Don't tell the cat.
Yeah.
They might be jealous.
Yeah. Nice. Did you grow up with pets?
Well, cats. I didn't really, until I had my own dog. I was never a dog person until I just fell in love with my own dog, and now he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. We got to meet them just when we were setting up, and they're very cute.
He actually approved of the 2 of you, so that is a good sign.
Yes. Nice. Our next this or that here is analog or digital. What would be your preference, generally speaking?
I'm going to go digital.
Any specific reason for that, or just because that's time?
It's the new technology thing. Let's go digital. Yeah, analog's like old school.
Yeah, I would probably echo that sentiment, I think. I think, yeah, ideally things progress with time, and I just think that would yeah, that's where I'm at in life. I was just, yeah, I'll take the digital. How about you, Michael?
Well, I'm going to take the counter argument here and go with analog. I think there's something about the physical thing, like a paper map, for example, it's just, you can't beat it. And it also like engages your brain in a different way if you have to like think of where you're going versus just following the maps on the phone. So sometimes analog's good.
Right on. I'll let you do one more here, and then we'll move along.
Oh, that one's all twisted.
Oh, you got it.
I've got study or cram.
Ooh, study or cram.
Is cram like a UK thing? Can you
maybe
define?
Sure, study or cram is like last minute, you know what I mean? Like you'll do everything at the last minute.
Scramble.
Kind of wing it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think for myself, I would like to be like study, but I think I generally fall into the cram. That's just, yeah, I don't know. I think something about like the last minute pressure also really motivates me to get the things done. And I'm not always proactive enough to do the studying. So, yeah, how about you?
Well, study, I think part of being a business owner really is the self-discipline, planning, prepping. So I'm going to go with study. Doesn't always happen, but that is always my best option.
And how about you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you, Annie, on this one. Yeah, I would probably study. I remember, in school, I never ever crammed. I'm more of a morning person. I don't stay up late, and I don't like the procrastination. So, yeah, I would definitely study as much as I could. And yeah, to your point as well, yeah, when you're self-employed, you kind of have to work ahead and plan ahead a bit as much as you can. So that's my preference. That makes me feel better. Makes me feel like I'm more in control to do that a little bit. So, yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll move along to our tumbling towers here.
Okay.
So yeah, each block corresponds to a question. Ideally, we're not picking from the top 3 rows, and then feel free to just put the block on top once you're done. And yeah, feel free to poke around and see if there's a really easy one that you can grab. And yeah, I'll let you do the honors and go first.
Break it. Nice and gentle. I'm going to go with this one. Woo! Number 47.
47. Awesome. And feel free to pop that on top. What's one sentimental item you've kept over the years? Is there something that you have like in your house that is just like has a super meaningful story behind it that you just couldn't let go of?
I do have a wedding dress hiding in the closet.
Oh, nice.
Going on 9 years, but yes, sentimental enough that I kept it and haven't parted with.
That's super beautiful. Nice. A sentimental item that I've kept. Oh gosh, when my family and I immigrated from the UK, my classroom in the UK, they had this orange orangutan, and it was a stuffy. It was my like going away party, I guess, and they gave it to me, and I just haven't let go of it. So that would be my sentimental item. How about you, Michael?
Yes, as you're talking about that, what comes to mind? For me, I have this one knife, and it's actually I was at a buffalo harvest, and we harvested a buffalo, and it's like, oh yeah, it was like a really meaningful experience for me, and they like gifted me this knife, and yeah, I don't use it for anything. I could, I haven't harvested a buffalo recently, but I just have it. But it's a nice memory, so it's a sentimental item that I've kept around.
Nice. A great variety of things right there.
You go from wedding dress to knife and stuffy animals. I love it.
I'll see what I can pull here. Oh, these are all pretty solid, hey? Okay. This one seems okay. Well, it's kind of wobbly. Oh my gosh, this is like extra.
Oh, Jenga!
It has happened, yeah. Okay, there we go. Michael is not the only one to have knocked it over now. Well, we'll start again from here. 35 was the question. We got, what other language would you like to speak? Could be anything. Could be from a place that you'd like to go, or what languages?
Well, I'm already bilingual, French and English. I'd like to learn Spanish. I know maybe just a handful of words, but if I knew a couple more words, it would open some doors for me and I could go to Mexico and travel.
That's awesome. I love how like practical it is as well. Yeah, that's awesome. I think for myself, the thing that's coming to mind right now is actually just all the different like dialects, like from the UK and like even Canada has a large variety of dialects. So it's not another language, but it's very difficult to understand different dialects. So if I somehow could learn that, then that would be my preference right now. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm going to have the same answer as Annie. Spanish, learned some Spanish. My partner's from Spain, and I don't know enough Spanish, so probably learn some more words. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll let you do the honors and see if we can get another one out there.
Okay, let's try this. 41.
41. That is going to be, if you could visit a fictional world, where would you go?
When?
Where would you go? A fictional world.
I would visit the Matrix.
Okay, nice. Okay. I love that series. That's a great answer.
That seems pretty cool. And, you know, I could really, like, look at different dimension and alter reality. And I think that'd be a pretty neat movie to do. So that's my answer.
Nice. I love that. I love that. I think for myself, I love The Lord of the Rings. I just love that series. So I would say Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings. What's coming to mind for you, Michael?
I don't read a lot of fictional books or movies. I guess my answer would be, I was growing up, I remember watching like the movie Hook, Steven Spielberg, Robin Williams, and loving Peter Pan. So I'd probably go to Never Never Land and never grow up.
Nice. Awesome. I think we've got time for one more here.
Okay.
So we'll see what I pull and go from there. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. We got 43. Whoa, another 40. 43 is going to be, what's a quality you aspire to? So is there like a quality or a way of being that you just value greatly that, yeah, you either aspire to or maybe hold already?
Quality I aspire to.
And I can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Sure. I don't know. I think lately there's just been something about like kindness, which sounds like a very simple thing, but I think with everything going on in today's day and age, and everybody's busy, and I feel like, yeah, just being kind is not always the easy thing, and everybody's human, and so yeah, I guess kindness is something I'm maybe trying to aspire to more of in my everyday life. So. Yeah,
that's very kind of you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm going to go along the same but different. Gratitude. Just being grateful, and I'm not always positive. I try my best, but I think just getting into a mindset every day where what are the 5 things I'm thankful for today, and then spreading some joy along the way.
I love that. What comes to mind for you, Michael?
Yeah, kind of similar to what you guys are talking about, but what comes to mind is like generally like mindfulness. I find sometimes my mind is racing and I'm thinking too much about things, and it'd be nice just to have some more peace of mind. I've worked on some mindfulness training, but I haven't done it in a while, so I feel like I could get better at that and just be present in the moment, not always just be thinking all the time. So that would be a quality I guess I would aspire to. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is all the time we have for this segment, so thank you so much for your time and energy. I'm excited for your interview here shortly. But yeah, this has been Tell Us Story Hives on location in Red Deer. My name is Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my lovely co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is...
I'm Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design. Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Tell Us Story Hives on location in Red Deer. My name is Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my lovely co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is...
I'm Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design, business owner, local from Penhold, Alberta.
Nice. Yeah, again, thank you so much for your time and energy. And yeah, I'm super excited to dive into an interview and just kind of, outline your journey as a creative and as a business owner, and just see what we can get to here. So, yeah, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your business, ABC Creation and Design, and what it is you do and offer.
Sounds good. Well, ABC Creation and Design actually is named after my name, Annie Burik. So that's A-B, C is creation. And then I was going to go D-E and all that, but I had to keep it short. Actually, so ABC, I find it's really catchy and it introduces my business name. I do graphic design, face painting, paint party services, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I can't wait to learn more about those things. But I think what we'll do is we'll kind of rewind the clock here and just kind of go back to the beginning.
Short. Short and sweet.
Yes. Yeah. And so what were your kind of no, not to go back and do that again.
Oh no, all good.
yeah. I just mean your oldest memory of engaging with art.
Back in the days.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. What comes to mind? Yeah.
Well, if we rewind the clock way back, one of my earliest memory about wanting to be an artist. I recall being about maybe grade 5 or 6. I actually won a coloring contest. I was in elementary school, and what really struck me back then was 1988. How I remember that I won a Olympic coloring, sketching. I think I was drawing figure skating, and I won a jersey of the Calgary Olympic, and I was so excited and so proud of my accomplishment. Little did I know, 10 years after that, I literally moved to Calgary, Alberta. And that was not planned, but turned out that way.
Nice. Yeah, and so that's kind of that was kind of your first experience of doing art and getting that kind of reward, which seems like it was super motivational. Nice. Yeah, what kind of came after that time in your life, elementary? What was next?
Well, elementary, then high school. So I went to college right after high school, and I took a visual arts and communication in French there in Quebec, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed. We got to touch on some filmmaking, photography, art history. I was so passionate about that. For me, it was finally fun to go to school.
Yeah. Why don't you tell me a bit more about that experience? So it was in Montreal. Did you have to move out there, or were you already based there?
So I was already in Montreal. College, I was just back and forth. It seems like those were the days, party days, really. Literally, we had sleeping behind the school campground, and they were 2 years of just really fun experience. I was also on the school radio. So I remember being a radio host / DJ. And those were all the fun days. I remember just having a good time, learning a lot, sleeping very little, but it was productive in the end. So then I went to university after that.
Yeah. If we just hold on there to the college days there, were there any inspirational people in your life at that time, or mentors that come to mind during that time?
Well, one really fun trip we did in college, I went to New York. So living in Montreal, New York, I think it's about an 8-hour drive. We actually drove to New York. So it was field trip, school bus, amazing. But by the time I got to the States, I wasn't quite 21. I think I was probably borderline 18, but we had such a fun trip. One of the great experience was to visit all these museums in New York. I got to see some live Jackson Pollock's painting, and wow, mural size and everything is very impressive when you see a masterpiece in real life.
Yeah. Do you feel like that trip like had any impact on you, like lasting impact on you, like till this day? Or
Definitely. I think it really opened my eyes to traveling, culture, New York, really. For an artist, there's nothing like Times Square.
Nice. And then the other thing I'm curious about is just college, and it sounds like you were having a great time. And
Mhm.
so just that idea of like community and friendship building. Do you have any comments on that during that time in your life and what you kind of got out that? And did that influence your artistic practice at that time or your studies?
It did. I think college was really an exploration of not just painting. I was obviously really good at painting, drawing, but I got to explore filmmaking. So we got to, do a little brief acting, editing, movie. I did a lot of photography. So back in the 90s, that was black and white photography. My dad actually, we had a black and white studio in our basement. So I got to develop pictures from scratch here. So that's pretty ancient, but the experience I learned was great. And those were the days.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, having that kind of studio space in the basement, like were your folks creative in any way? Did they kind of encourage you to pursue that or?
They would have liked me to be probably a doctor or, high
Sure.
school. They really pushed me hard in high school. I hated it, but I really pushed hard. So I got all this science, chemistry, biology, and I pushed really hard so I could just prove a point, do it. And that earned me a bursary to go to college and do whatever I choose to do. And I was the opposite of this medical chemistry. I'm so thankful I got to jump into arts.
Yeah, and I mean, any opportunity for scholarships or bursaries, I think is absolutely incredible. What did that mean to you at that time to have worked that hard and then get the bursary?
I was really thankful. High school was tough and challenging, but I kept telling myself, the sooner I get it done and over with, I can go on and do something I'm really passionate about. So I got through it. Pretty sure I got about a $3,000 bursary. That wouldn't even cover 1 year nowadays. But
Right.
back then, it got me through college. And then university was hard because I moved out on my own by then. I had to work, 2, 3 jobs to be able to pay for university and living expenses. So that was more of a wake-up call for me. Those college days were over. I had to grow up real quick and learn.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's
Responsibility.
yeah. Let's move on to your university days. Then you went to UQAM University.
That's
in
correct.
their fine arts program there.
Yeah.
And so that was that your first time moving out on your own?
Yeah, that first year of university, and I only did 1 year. UQAM is University du Québec at Montreal. So it was great. But after this university, I honestly just couldn't wait to explore the world. And right after I graduated, I actually moved to Calgary.
Interesting. Yeah. And again, just during your time there at university, were there any mentors or inspirational like events that took place or not?
Not so much. All I remember is studying real hard, working, so many jobs around the clock. I don't really remember sleeping a whole lot because it was a lot of work. It was hard.
Yeah. And I feel like there's something in that of just that work ethic that it maybe prepared you for. Like, do you feel like that experience prepared you for your life now in any way?
It did. I think it taught me responsibility growing up. Schedule and discipline is really what university put into me. Yeah.
Well, that's super fair. And then what happened next after your university days? You said you moved to Calgary? Yeah. What happened in Calgary then?
Well, I moved to Calgary. Of course, I needed a job. So it was funny, though, because being bilingual, the first place I applied, out of all places, I love animals, I applied at the Calgary Zoo. And being bilingual, interview right away. The fact that I'm bilingual, French and English, especially with customer service, they hired me on the spot even though my English was rusty. All my schooling was mostly in French. So when I moved in my early 20s, I was limited, but I got the job, and I'm thankful for that chance of growing. And then I decided to go back to school after that for more in my field type of work.
Yeah, and I'd love to just touch on that aspect of being bilingual. Yeah, and just what do you think? What is the value that brings you in your practice now? Even what do you get out of that?
Definitely is a perk. It's a bonus. Being in Alberta, I don't use my French as much as I would have if I lived in Ontario or Quebec. But definitely, I'm thankful I'm bilingual. More so lately, I've done a few more. In February, I actually wrote an article for Le Franco, Alberta, which is an online virtual magazine, and it's starting to come in handy. But I'm finding rusty. If you don't use it, you lose it. So my parents are still in Quebec. I do get to talk to them and communicate regularly, but I need more practice.
Well, that's super fair. Interesting. Right on. So yeah, you moved to Calgary. You got your job at the Calgary Zoo. Yeah, what kind of happened next in your journey there? You mentioned going back to school.
Yeah, well, after working a couple of years, I mean, the animals were great and all that, but I knew I wasn't going to be customer service all my life, and I got bored of talking to the bears and giraffe. And so in 2000, I went back to school in Calgary. I took on a graphic design and web design course at the Applied Multimedia Training Center. That was great. Private school, it was very expensive, but I learned so much.
What sort of stuff did you learn about during the program and your time there?
Well, graphic design, that program really launched me into multimedia. What I found at that time when I moved out of Montreal was really oversaturated with too much multimedia. I knew I wasn't going to make it unless I branched out, and back then the West seemed to be the answer. Everybody was moving out west, either Alberta or BC. So I took my chances, went out west, and realized I needed more in-depth studies to make it to where I wanted to be.
And how long was that program or your time in the...
So it was only a year. I really wanted to carry on that program and get into the whole animation, flash movie, soft image. Back then was, I had the big dream of moving to the States or Vancouver to pursue my education. Well, I learned quickly that money does not grow on tree. After 1 year, which took me 10 years to repay, I realized I had to start self-employment or just, putting money in the bank. So after that, I just took a bit of a self-check and decided to try doing my own things.
And what was that like? That kind of reality check, I guess it sounds like.
Yeah.
What kind of emotions came along with that?
Well, studying is good. It provided me so many great tools, skills, and experience. But I had to be more mature and responsible, that I needed a balance in my life. So I did have a few years of working the daily grind, day-to-day jobs that I wasn't really happy of, but that also gave me persistence, ambition to keep on going and work really hard. You'll get to live your dream and create your own business.
Yeah, and what kind of happened next in your journey then after you did that year in that program? And it sounds like, you took a bit of time to just work those jobs that you needed to work. What kind of happened next in your journey there?
Well, fast forward many years, I had a few great milestones along the way. Right after that course in Calgary, I was published in a book internationally. Actually, we were talking about, I don't speak much Spanish, but they actually published a book in English and Spanish. So it was sort of a collection of different artists from around the world, and a chapter was dedicated to graphic design, and I wrote a piece they translated it because me no habla español here. So they did the publication, and that was in 2002. I was pretty happy about that,
Yeah.
and I think that motivated me to just keep going, create my own career path.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how did you come? That sounds like an amazing opportunity. So how did you come across that, or how did it
You know
fall
what?
into
I
your
don't
lap?
even know. I think they
Yeah.
came to me. I
Okay.
think it was just online,
Hmm.
something that came through online, and I'm like, oh, is this for real? Sounds too real to be true. But no, it was a legitimate, real person, not a
Mhm.
spammer.
Right.
Ended up having a book published and got 2, 3 copies, and it's out there.
Yeah,
It's
that's.
called Gallery 2002
Mm.
or Galeria Spanish.
Mhm. Yeah, and what? Yeah, what did that feel like to have that opportunity and get it, and then have it be published?
You know, it felt really special at that time. Now, honestly, looking back 20 some plus years, I look at it now and I can laugh. I can laugh about myself
Mm.
knowing how far technology has changed tremendously.
Mm.
It would be like reading an article from the 1940s in a black and white newspaper, and I'm literally just shaking my head looking at it. I'm still proud of the opportunity, but things have changed like night and days when it comes to multimedia and the world of social media.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's very useful insight, just like that
In
you do.
25 years, yeah, things change.
Yeah, yeah, and especially in that discipline, I guess, where technology is always changing, and the programs, and yeah, that's super interesting. How you mentioned that there were maybe a few milestones. Was there another milestone after that that comes to mind, or what happened next?
I started a business right about 2005. It was hard. It was a challenging situation, and I had to put that dream aside
Mm.
for quite a few years. I became a mom.
Mm.
So I spent the time really focusing on my child and raising my boy. He is now 19 years old. So now I'm happy to revisit that goal of self employment, and I relaunched that 5 years ago with
Mhm.
better tools.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I do want to linger on that idea of motherhood and that part of your life, because that's not a small thing.
It's a big thing. It's
Yeah.
very challenging, but I think any business owners can relate to me when I say, you got a big goal, you got a big dream, but you got to pick your priorities.
Mhm.
I was not prepared for sleepless night, a different kind of sleepless night, but
Sure.
also just raising a child, babies in general. I soon realized I can't be a stay at home mom raising my child, working on a business. Juggling it all was not realistic, and it helped me to grow and reassess. So I became a bus driver. I literally took the baby on the job with me
Oh, right on.
just to make money and make a living.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, what did that mean um, to put that dream on hold and choose your priority and prioritize family? What did that feel like, or what did that mean to
It
you?
was challenging.
Yeah.
Those were difficult choices, but all worth it in the end. I'm super happy, proud, and thankful of my beautiful son. And you know what? Things are meant for a reason. So have to go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just that also that idea of were you kind of taking a break from your maybe artistic practice during that time?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not a break, but a step back. Coloring book with toddlers, different kind of different kind of level again. But if it wasn't for having a child, I would have not became a bus driver. I never pictured myself as, when I grow up, I want to be a bus driver. But that led to opening a bunch of other doors. And I don't consider them like detour. They really just led me to the path that I'm on today with a variety of skill sets.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's kind of go there. So, after that, your child grew up, and yeah, you kind of started to. When did you kind of start revisiting your artistic practice? and making it maybe more of a priority again.
Yeah, well, by the time he was in school and high school, um, I still work for other people as a graphic designer. I realized my dream of self-employment, I wasn't quite there yet. I needed to put bread on the table. So family comes first. I spent about 10 years working for 3, 4 different businesses in Red Deer. That gave me a lot of skills in the signage industry, graphic design for t-shirt companies, embroidery. I got to learn a lot of really handy skills on how to operate machinery, big print press. One of the business I worked for, we designed bus wraps and advertising for bus shelters, outdoor billboards. So I'm very thankful for all that experience. And if it wasn't for these little curves and detour, I wouldn't have got all of the skills and experience, an overview of graphic design and multimedia.
Yeah, there's something really interesting in that about, I don't know, I'm not a visual artist, surprise, surprise, but just that idea of, when I do think of visual art, I guess I tend to just think of like a canvas and just kind of using that. Whereas, those experiences that you just listed, and yeah, working in print and signage and doing bus wraps, there's something maybe less conventional about that as well. I don't know, do you have more thoughts on that, or just how that has maybe influenced your work now and your business now?
I think it really opened up my eyes on variety and possibilities. So you start with a logo. A logo can go hundreds of different places. So right here, for example, I have my logo started from a small business card. Now my logo is on banner, promotional banner. I also have my logo on my vehicle. So my car has window decals, perforated back windows. You can go t-shirt branding. So me having explored all these different options, working for other businesses, if it wasn't for those businesses that trained me, I wouldn't really know what to do with your logo. Do I put it on a t-shirt or a business card? People don't quite understand that a printed logo, if it's this big and you get it created on Canva or Vistaprint here, for lack of a better example, you can't just take a scannable logo, blow it up on a billboard without losing pixel quality. So I didn't know that before I jumped into the industry. So now all that knowledge really got my brain thinking. And when I design for a client, I can explain the differences to them. So it makes me a better business owner, knowing the differences.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And yeah, I also just love in that example, just that idea of like being of service. And I often think that art, regardless of the discipline, is kind of a service industry. You're making art, and hopefully people will see it at some point and they'll get whatever they're going to get out of it. But that, in those roles, you were, working for other people. I don't know if that inspires any thoughts. Discipline, yeah.
Well, discipline for sure. The 9 to 5, you wake up, do the things, and right now, looking back, I can really enjoy the flexibility and freedom of self-employment for having been both sides. There's the show up 8 to 5, but you show up physically. Your mind is forced to be there because you're there physically. But there's something else about self-employment that you show up, but your heart shows up, your head, and you're like fully present. When you love what you do, you'll never work a single day for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's so beautiful. And yeah, so after those sort of experiences, what was kind of like next in your journey? Was it starting ABC Creation Design, or was there something before
transition?
Yeah,
it really was a transition. It took many, many years, like literally 20 years, before I could really jump back in. As I was still working full-time, I would do my ABC creation on weekends, evening weekends. Right after 2020, what really kick-started my business was Saturday morning art classes out of the Penhold Museum. I would work my 9 to 5 all week, dreading it. But I was so excited for Saturday morning. I'd literally jump out of bed like a kid's wanting to watch cartoon on the TV, and I would just run to the museum to teach my kids' art club. So I realized during those years, my passion really was teaching, but also self-employment. Working for somebody else's kind of wore me down, and I had the passion to do my own things.
Yeah, and it really does bring to mind that idea of like showing up with your not just your body, but your head and your heart. Yeah, were there any examples that just kind of like lit your heart up or gave you great joy during that time and doing those classes? Or
well, the museum was definitely, when you're going on your 9 to 5 and all you can do on your lunch break is plan your next Saturday event, or during that time, I was also hired to be an illustrator for a children's book. So I remember working my 9 to 5, but yes, every lunchtime I'd be spread across the lunchroom table with my sketches and drawings. So those were clear signs for me that there is more. There is more out there for me. I am meant for more. Stepping stones, again, just get through it and get to a better place.
I love that idea of, yeah, kind of hindsight is 2020, and that you kind of, sounds like, yeah, you've been able to, you know, make sense of things in retrospect quite a bit and just keep pushing forward in your journey. That's amazing. I would be remiss if we didn't like dive into ABC creation and design and just what it is you offer through that. So I love like your wording on your website is your trifecta of things. Yeah, could you just tell us a bit more about those things and what it is you do there?
For sure. So I'm very passionate about art, like you can see, but I'm also passionate about design. So the trifecta really blends graphic design, paint classes. I love teaching. I have a heart for teaching children's and all ages. And then the third thing that I do is face painting. Face painting, community events and parties. I actually was at an event yesterday in Innisfail Chamber of Commerce. So I was doing face painting and glitter tattoo. Those events just bring me so much joy. And what I like the best about ABC Creation and Design is I get to blend the best of both worlds. Sitting behind a computer 40 hours a week, my fingers, my hand gets numb. I really like just merging the two together, and then I can work a half day on the computer and go paint, teach a class, and have fun evenings. So for me, that's how I blended and came up with the best of both worlds.
That's super awesome. And yeah, I guess I am interested in those events, like, yeah, the paint classes and art parties. Yeah, has there been any like super special memories or interactions that you've had or reactions to those events that comes to mind?
There's been a lot of different moments in the big scheme of things. So actually, right behind your head, we're looking at a Northern Lights.
Okay.
I had 2 opportunities to do live paint events. So this one was actually my practice piece. So while driving school buses, I eventually resigned from that. But this one school I worked for had a fundraiser. Every year they put on this big, massive event at the Westerners in Red Deer. So evening of decadent dessert, they come up with so many sponsors, silent auction. They have an auctioneer just selling on the spot. So my painting, big one, 2 feet. We're talking 2 feet by 3 feet here.
Wow.
The challenge for me, this was my first live painting event. I had 2 hours. 2 hours to create a mural, right? It's big enough. So anyway, I did it. I created. I had to do practice with a timer because I can lose myself in a painting. Next thing I know, it's midnight. But when you have a timer, that's a whole different approach. You just gotta literally take your big Bob Ross brushes.
Yes. You got
Tongue
it.
twister. So I literally got the big like wall painting brushes so I could speed up the process. And I practice. And then I'm like, yeah, 2 hours. I can do it if I use the big foam brushes. So anyway, that fundraiser auction, they sold my painting along with 3 cakes because it was all about evening of decadent dessert. So $1,800 was fundraised from my painting plus 3 cakes. Along with, there was so many other things that night. They fundraised over $200,000. Yeah, so, and then after that, I did another live painting events for Red Deer Arts Council.
Nice. Yeah, and I know that Red Deer Arts Council, you were involved with them for a while, and you're kind of on the board now.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about that part of your journey and what you got out of that?
So I was secretary on the board of director. This past, I've been on the board for the past 2 years, and I really enjoyed the community, culture and community, and it's really got me to meet so many great local artists, networking with people, and the Arts Council just celebrated their 50th anniversary a year ago.
Sure.
So I got to design their logo for the 50th anniversary, and I was pretty happy to be on the board.
Yeah. And yeah, you mentioned culture and community. Yeah, what kind of role do those things play in your practice now?
It's all about awareness. Alberta, every year we have in October Culture Days, they call it. It actually lasts an entire month. So September, October, there's so many great events that before joining the Arts Council, I wasn't really aware of what goes on all over. They put on like summer solstice, plein air events, and not just art. It really opened up my eyes on music, culture, and whatever goes on in our community.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea of awareness. I think that's a really beautiful sentiment. Yeah. Our last kind of question, because we are kind of near the end of our time for this segment, is just, how has creativity either changed or maybe even shaped your everyday life?
Yeah, I'm surrounded by arts in my daily life here, and being a business owner, though, really has brought my attention on juggling, juggling priorities, balancing working from home, but also being a mobile paint party host. Before this interview today, I literally just came back from the Little Red Barn there. So I literally came right back from an event. People don't know, I still have paintbrushes in my bathtub. I literally have a bucket of paintbrushes to, but also when I do face painting events. Last night I came back home. I washed about 70 brushes, and people don't see the behind the scene of being an entrepreneur. It is real. My husband and family are very supportive of, we don't go in the bathtub if I'll get to my brushes here after dishes and dinner, right?
Yes.
But yeah, it's all fun and games, but it's a lot of just juggling, prioritizing, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah, that's really beautiful. I do think that's kind of the time we have for this segment. I'm super excited for your showcase with Michael here shortly. But yeah, this has been Tell Us Story Hives on location. My name is Daniel J. Perryman, local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. This is my lovely co-host,
Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is
Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Welcome to On Location here in Red Deer. I'm Michael Bartz. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Daniel J. Perryman, a local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And today we're joined by
Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design in Penhold, Alberta.
Yeah. I really enjoyed your conversation with Daniel, learning about kind of your journey as a creative and starting that small business. And yeah, for this we call the showcase. We really like to talk about the pieces more, or for yourself also, like events you do, and talk about those and show some images. We might get to some other things here, so it's going to be a whole variety of things. So yeah, I think just to start, because you mentioned that it was yesterday, you were at the Innisville trade show. What was going on there?
That's right. So there was like over 400 businesses. So trade show and mini market. Businesses from all over central Alberta were just showcasing, promoting whatever it is they do and sell. The reason for me being there was entertaining the kids. So we were actually supposed to be outdoor. The weather turned out a little too cold. They put me inside in front of the bouncy castle, and I was offering face painting and glitter tattoo during that day.
And I assume you've done that quite a bit before, because that's part of your business. Yeah, what's that like, interacting with the kids?
It's fun. I love it. People say I have a lot of patience. I really do. I started my face painting. Actually, it was called body painting. I started in Calgary back in the early millennium, where I would go in a nightclub and paint. So rave. When people are bouncing, people say, oh, my kids won't sit still for 2 seconds. I get it. I actually painted on people that wouldn't stop techno bouncing. So for me, painting on kids that are fidgety, it's nothing. I'm used to painting on canvas that bounces up and down.
Well, I have to go back to that rave thing. We can't just leave that. So you're painting on people that are bouncing up and down. How did you get involved with that? I just have to ask.
Being in my 20s, having fun. But some of my friends were having way too much fun. But one of my friends, me and this girl, Julia, we were both very amazing and passionate about art. And we love the techno, we love the music. And, for me to go to an event and not have to pay $200 to go see DJ Tiesto, hey, can't go wrong. So we kept her head straight, obviously. And I just really like painting while people are dancing all night, and the glow in the dark. There's something about the glow in the dark paint. So yeah, I started on body before I got to kids' beautiful faces. But yeah, those were the days people would just go and dance with their top off. So yeah, I would paint their back, their shoulders, whatever. It was almost like tattoo, but for glow in the dark. And we had such a fun time. So when I think now about kids, it's nothing compared to this sweaty, bouncing, dancing all night nightclub.
Yeah, that seems like a much more challenging canvas to try, painters. Yeah.
But people are happy when they're partying, and they don't complain. They're just happy having a good time. So, for me, it doesn't matter if it's nightclub or kids, the happy vibe. What brings people a smile to their face, that's what makes my days and keeps me going.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's very rewarding to do that sort of work, Yeah, maybe you could incorporate some more like glow-in-the-dark stuff for the kids, maybe.
Yeah, even like glow-in-the-dark tattoos. So not just for Halloween. Honestly, it could be year-round, but I'm branching out into a little more of the night scene here in Red Deer. And I've got a couple things on the go. Can't say too much about it right now, but it will be a sneak peek surprise.
Okay.
Coming soon.
We'll look forward to that. That'll be great. Yeah. And yeah. Speaking of events, maybe nightlife, another event you do, maybe it's at night, is the Paint and Sip. Tell me about that event.
Well, I had one this afternoon. So Paint and Sip, we do the paint and wine, or there's been a lot of beautiful coffee shop lately. So paint at coffee shop. Today's Sunday, so nice Sunday afternoon. We actually did a hummingbird. I was teaching this hummingbird. So paint on a terracotta pot. I've painted this bird on canvas 4 or 5 times teaching already, but painting on a pot, there was something different about it. This activity that I hosted is paint on the pot and plants. So it was a gardening / crafting activity. And those are really 2 things I'm really passionate about. Well, I have this lovely pot in my hand too. Speaking of gardening, I was at the Parkland Garden Center last month, and we worked on this beautiful little Groot. Isn't he adorable? He's
great,
made
yeah.
out of clay,
Oh.
and he is baked like cured in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
All
know,
that rave stuff going on. Yeah.
He's got the little green highlights, but no,
Yeah.
not that kind of baked. But honestly, he's cured, so he's like, I can poke him into the plant, and he's just hanging there all day. I am Groot. That's what he does.
Oh, nice, yeah. And do you have like other Groots around when you're doing the workshop? Or?
I do. So actually, I had 11 people signed up for this project. So they all came out so unique. Everybody made their own. Some people made little hanging men, so they would hang off the plant and just kind of hang in there. And some people made them into little candle holder. So have quite the variety. And what I like about teaching community events is people put their own touch and personality. I provide the guidance and the step-by-step, but the results, they're quite stunning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if you kind of give them that creativity, and they can just go and
Go with the flow.
Yeah, and I assume like probably a lot of people in your classes they're not trained artists; they're just looking to learn, and
they're just day-to-day people looking for an afternoon with friends, or some people come solo as well. You don't need to come with friends. That is the best way to make a new friend.
There we go. Yeah. I'm sure people are always making friends at your events. So.
They are, and you know, for me to see the connection, or couples, paint a partner's night, and when people leave making a new friends, that's what makes my day.
Is the painting the couples thing like the rave thing where they're painting each other?
No,
No,
not all about partying.
Yeah.
Actually, right behind there in February, I did Paint Your Partner's Valentine's Day event.
Okay.
That was not even a night thing. That was actually an afternoon thing. It was a appetizer, like happy hours there.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you bring couples together and they can have a fun time at the event.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of events, there's another one that was interesting. We actually have a video, which is a new thing we get to put up. There's actually the Arts Council. You did a live painting of a gnome. Tell me about just that event.
Well, I love gnomes. I'm kind of obsessed with gnomes. And so Red Deer Arts Council, they had a big gala 2025. So last year, they were celebrating their 50th anniversary of being a nonprofit organization in Red Deer. So for the gala, they asked a couple people to do live painting. There was me, another artist doing painting. Actually, if you want to show this lovely gnome, I have, it didn't sell that night, so I took the gnome home with me. So this gnome actually has the 50th logo somewhat integrated in there. There's probably a better image you can put on the screen, but I was quite honored to be able to design that logo for the special milestone. And yeah, painting live. While I was painting, there was people dancing. A band was playing that night. It was like a wine and cheese. So there was wine and cheese, poetry, just different arts and culture. So it really was not just about painting. It was about the whole community, performing art, literature. That's what I like about being on the Arts Council.
Watching the videos, like a very fun event and dancing, and you were just in the corner there, and I'm sure people were watching you, and that's great. And the painting looks wonderful. I think it's lovely. Yeah, and does the gnome have a name? I don't know if you ever named him.
Yeah. Now, I forgot what his name. Actually, while I was painting it, a lot of people came up to me and asked me just that question. And I said, why don't we do a Name the Gnome contest? Now that you mention it, I forgot what his name is. So if one of our viewers watching and remember the name, it just poof. A mind blank.
It's all good. Yeah. I'm just curious.
You know what? He's probably the forgetful gnome.
Maybe. Yeah. Nice. And speaking of that logo, I know you mentioned earlier, and it probably came up, but that 50th anniversary logo, and has the color palette around it, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Tell me about designing that logo, what that was like.
Well, so that was more my graphic design skills. And when I designed that logo, I submitted 5 different options
Mhm.
to the board of director. We kind of did a mini vote, little contest, and we narrowed it down, and it was almost unanimous. They all picked the chrome color wheel. The color wheel represents so many different things in our culture, but also it really represented variety of not just art painting, but literature, performing art, visual, music. So it brings everything into one unity.
Yeah. Like, I really like it. It's a really great design.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's other logos you've done as well. There's one for mini golf business, I think it was.
Yeah,
Tell me about that one.
the Penhold Museum here in Penhold, we've had a museum and ice cream shack for many years, and last year the community all pulled in together to fundraise almost $20,000 to build. We built our own mini putts. So many children in this community here, and the community really they made it happen. I was on the board vice president at that time, and I was honored to update the old outdated logo and incorporate the mini golf aspect on top of museum history and ice cream. So the logo, this one was mostly a photograph. We wanted to include the photo of the location inside the logo. So I made it more of the font, just incorporating the font, the image with some symbols and graphic to just an eye-catching logo.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's great. Yeah. Did you get any free ice cream for doing that?
Well, I volunteered quite a bit, so
okay.
yes, I earned my ice cream and I burned a calorie off too.
Playing some mini golf, yeah.
But if you do drive on Highway 2A in between Innisfail, Penhold, you can see the big design signage that I built. On the highway, if you look back, you'll see the Penhold Museum. And actually, ABC Creation was one of the sponsors. You'll see my sign, my logo on the sign.
There we go. We can look for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll maybe cover one more logo. Why not?
For sure.
There's one for, I believe it's called Business Works. Is that right?
BWCA.
Yeah. There's you like on a ladder, some bricks.
Yeah.
Tell me about that image. What's going on there?
Well, so 2 different things. So first of all, BWCA stands for Business Work of Central Alberta. When I really became serious about my business, I went back to school one more time, and I took a 1-year online course on how to start your own business. So took the course, graduated, I got some awesome coaching, and then a year later, they asked me to update their signage. So downtown in Red Deer, BWCA is now called Ethos, ETHOS, and you'll have to Google it. But basically at that time, they wanted to cover, it was a rebranding. So I covered the website, just kind of put new patches on the existing banner, but we had to update the branding, but keeping the font, the color consistent. So that's one thing I do as a graphic designer, planning, not just wing it. You gotta go measure. Things have to be like super precise and accurate, especially when you're covering existing signage. You gotta make it work, keep the color and things consistent. So.
Yeah, a little less creativity. They want it a certain way, and you can do that. That's great.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it was downtown on location. I was sure glad to have a spotter that day to watch for me, watch the ladder, watch the equipment, and just really thankful I got to update their signage.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity. Yeah, and because of your work, it sounds like the community voted at one point. There'll be a little no surprise to see the image, but tell me about this. The community votes.
So Red Deer, every year we have, it's called a Red Deer Community Votes. Red Deer Advocate puts on a community vote. Tell me who the best auto service is or hair salon. So people go and pick. Last year I was listed under the art classes category. So people voted me, nominated, and I earned a silver medal in the art classes category. So I was super thankful. Thank you so much for everybody that voted for me. Now this year, 2026, I am nominated under 2 different categories. So graphic design and art classes. We'll wait and see.
Ooh, maybe, can you win both? Is that possible?
I think it
Yeah, I
is.
think you're nominated for both.
I think it is. We'll wait and see. The
Yeah.
stakes are high. There is a lot of graphic designer in town. We'll see who has the most votes.
Well, my vote's for you, but I don't think I can
Thank you.
actually
We'll
vote.
let the community
Yeah.
decide, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, nice. I think yeah, we've got time for me for one more thing. You have these here. And I think it'd be just neat to talk about. I'm going back to I think more design illustration. You have like some children's books that you've designed. So this one's called Frida,
Illustrate.
the Friendly Ghost that you've illustrated. Tell me about the designing this book.
Yeah, so there's a local author in Red Deer. She wrote the stories. She gave me the storyline and asked me, can you put the stories into images? So basically, I took the story, broke it apart, and this one was all done in watercolor and quite a bit of graphic design. So I pieced together this story with beautiful little owl. It's the story of an owl and a little Priscilla the bird here, and Pelican and the hoot owl. And then I made a second story as well, which was a friendly ghost. So you'll have to look and see. These are published, available on the Page Masters website.
Okay, yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you do, and it's just also interesting.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me share that with you, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the conversation. I really appreciate you showing me this. So yeah, thanks so much for spending time with us, Annie.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so this has been Tell a Story Hives on location here in Red Deer. I'm Michael. I make short films and podcasts about environmental sustainability. And this is my co-host,
Daniel J. Perryman. I'm a local theatre and filmmaker based in Lethbridge, Alberta. And this has been
Annie Burik with ABC Creation and Design. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching.